Yo. Am I on? Had to change the fucking name real quick. It was tripping. I'm trying to remember how I did this. I haven't done this shit in a minute. How do I bring somebody on? Doing this with the homeboy Shadow Mask, but I can't remember how to bring. Like this. I don't know. I'll find out in a second. That wasn't it. How do I choose back there? Oh, Shadow, if you're in, do what you did last time, so I can bring you up on stage, so we get this conversation going. Anyway, y'all, I was asked from Shadow to do a video on do I think hip hop was really made for, what people are using it for. Everybody's out here just it's just music. It's just music. I did. That's what I sent you. It's in your messenger. That's what I sent you. I sent you an actual. Oh, you want me to do it on here? All right. I can do that too. That's fine. I don't see how you couldn't have done it when I sent it to you, but it is what it is. I don't care. It's there though. What the fuck? This is going to be a while. Okay, all right.
Hello?
All right, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. What's going on, Shadow? How you been, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem. It was actually a good idea that you brought up. So, hip hop for the most part. Well, shoot, we can do the basics. Okay, look, hip hop was made to make money. Let's say it like that, in the sense that people know it. You know what I'm saying? It was made to make money. Now, the how can we say it? The mythos, the grand of it is that all these people were poor. They didn't have anything, so they took some dusty mics and some turntables, and then they started doing neighborhood parties, to get out of the depression of being in poverty and a have-not. So they created this great creation called hip hop. It was a way to communicate with each other and tell people about the struggles of urban America. I'm not saying that doesn't have some validity to it, but the point of this video is to express how there's deeper hands involved.
It could have been organic.
Huh?
It could have been organic at first. Who knows?
Okay. I mean, Exactly. So what was your line of questions though? You said you had a few questions, so I want to do it like that. I want to do like a question and answer,
I
and
was
then
one of them was about I don't understand why KRS-One gets praised in hip hop.
because he's supposed to be one of the first ones rhyming. I guess not political, but trying to speak more than just the grandiose. Most rhymes were just about getting the party started and boasting and bragging, how cool you were. And I guess because he used the words like scholar and teacher,
Mm,
he was looked at as, some great rapper. Now, I'm not going to say he doesn't have some good songs. Love's Gonna Get You, that's informative. Why Is That? That's a good song. You Must Learn. He has some songs. The main reason that he got pushed now, now that I'm older and a little bit wiser, I'm starting to find out that because I don't know how far your hip hop, history goes, but he was representing Zulu Nation, which is Africa Bambaataa. Okay,
yeah.
well, a lot of stuff is coming out about Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation, and then the whole Hassan Campbell thing. But it's like they have literally went to the Bronx and they've talked to old people around there that said they knew that that's what he did. So in the beginning of hip hop, the beginning stages of hip hop, there's already homosexuality going on. There's already a lot of stuff behind the scenes with the groups that they're popularizing. Let's say it like that. The groups that they're making popular. Because if you look at MC Shan, the one who KRS battled against, he's a drunk. He's an alcoholic now. You know what I'm saying? And I find that interesting that he was the one that actually is we can't have any background. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's the one who told us about Will Smith. MC Shan was supposed to have the role of the Fresh Prince. The reason he turned it down is because the guy, and I forgot his fucking name, but it's important to know who he is. But the guy wanted sex with him.
So,
Not
yep.
Quincy Jones, it's another guy.
The producer or executive producer.
Right, exactly. The curly head dude. He he turned that down, and then Will Smith had it. So I just find it funny that the dude who rebelled against the system, he ends up being some drunk, you know what I'm saying, living out of some mobile home that's hooked up and everything, and nobody's hating on Shan. I just, it's funny how they blackballed him to the side, and KRS is still up and moving, and he's the one who's supposed to be all this, revolutionary, but he just recently told black people to stop calling themselves kings. He's like, stop calling yourselves kings and queens. That was like programming. And I think that's funny because I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought that's the whole Negas thing. I thought that's what that means. I thought that means king. So if you're like, oh, that's not our original language anyway, but in your original language, you have a word for this king. And then, I that just was backwards to me. I just thought that was kind of interesting. I'm like, wow, that's odd. You want them to stop using a word that you was running around about a few summers ago, saying the same shit. So that's interesting to me. KRS gets praised though because of that, because he woven in through the RBG / Muslim door. And that was a spell heavy that was going on in the 80s with black people. They had all gotten to some Islam stuff.
Yeah. um, like Rakim isn't Rakim a Muslim?
He is. Um, I mean, I don't believe Rakim sold out until way, way later. The thing that showed me Rakim was a sellout was what he said about Eminem.
It,
Rakim is known as the greatest rapper of all time. And he
uh,
knows he's known as the greatest rapper of all time. He knows that that's the title people give him. So for him in 2016, I believe, for him to say that Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time, It has nothing to do with racism. It has to do with the agenda. If the whole point is we're saying Hollywood takes our inventions, if this is the word on the street, this is what they're saying. Oh, they took rock and roll, they took jazz and blues. Okay, so Elvis is not Chuck Berry, but they give Elvis the title. Eminem is not Rakim, but Rakim gives Eminem the title. So, the whole point of this video, the whole name of it is, was hip hop really for the people? Why did you ask? Why did you say it like that? Why did you ask that question like that?
I can't remember. I was just thinking while I was eating.
But why did you ask it in that way? Oh, by the way, everybody, Shadow Mask is Australian. He's in Australia. So always remember that the world is watching. So when we're out here saying, oh, it's just music, and even a foreigner can see the influence. So I just want that to be known. You're not slick and nobody's blind. They can see what it's doing to the Jackie Robinsons, the Alis, the Stevie Wonders and all of that. They know who you are. They've seen your background before. They've never seen you this bad. So, this question is being brought up from someone who is not in America. Just wondering, like, was this stuff really made for people, period? And to me, I'm gonna throw a guess out there and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Were you asking that because the programming it's doing, or were you saying that it's just all bad? It has nothing good to offer.
Little both.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question, damn it. I had a question for your ass. What do you see that not the program, the other part of it? What do you see about it that is bad as far as influence? Remember, not the program. What do you see as far as people using rhythmic patterns as a negative? Where do you see the negativity in it? I think I know where you're going, but I just want to hear what you're going to say.
It can, I don't know how to phrase it, but I think it kind of dumbs down people.
Okay.
Because I'll tie it with another question I had. What was in the notes? One of my questions was, what if hip hop never had beats to it? What do you think hip hop would have went this far?
If hip hop would have never what?
Had beats. If it was only a cappella.
Oh, beat. Oh, beats. Oh, if there was no vibration. Shit. I mean, my answer is kind of what you were saying, how you were like, it's dumbing people down. Okay. In a way, better yet, that is correct, because I can't say that Dr. Seuss made people smarter. I can't say that. I can say they're rhythm rhymes that are interesting. But I can't say people like Dr. Seuss is not Aesop's fables. There's no moral in the end, that you're learning where you're like, wow, okay, I went through, a story, but there's something to take from it. How can I say this? Dr. Seuss and Mother Goose would be modern rap. Yeah. Aesop's fables and Shelley Silverman, Where the Sidewalk Ends. Even though, better yet, no, just Aesop's fables. Those you could say is more or less where hip hop could have went, where there was more of like a lesson to learn. So I guess in the end, it's the influence of the machine. You know what I'm saying? That's really where I can say. But would hip hop have been a success with no beats? Probably not. because that's the first spell that people are put in before the words. The first spell that they're put in is the beat. That's what gets people, gyrating, moving their head, observing the sound. And since most sounds now are rough and low vibrated, you can see why there's more violence now. There's more people that are not families that are quick to just have children at a wedlock, and there's no consequence to this music.
what was I gonna say? Also, interesting you brought up Rakim and Eminem. Rakim was on the 8 Mile soundtrack.
Yes, he was. Courtesy of Jeff Rowe. Courtesy of Dr. Dre with Aftermath. Because he was signed on there for a little bit. I know there's intertwinings with all of them,
Yeah.
especially the major people.
I'm not sure if you agree. I suspect the 50 Cent and Eminem and Ja Rule beef was fake.
Did 50 really get shot in the face? Yeah, because you can see it. Did they have beef prior? Street story wise, yeah, but I think I think you're right. Like the extras that were in it they make money off.
Because I found it interesting. Hussein Fatal from Tupac's Outlaws was friends with Ja Rule, and he done diss songs that Eminem, and Eminem done a Hail Mary cover.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't like that song either. Look at it like this. You can't say 50 Cent didn't influence people to sell drugs.
He was a big influence, probably even on me in music.
Right. Don't you see the similarities between 50 Cent and Tupac? The thug that gets shot.
Really.
Huh?
I was gonna say, yeah, I was a big Tupac and 50 Cent fan when I was younger, so that might also make sense why.
We all liked 50 Cent. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about with hip hop of went anywhere without the beats, and having Dre, and it's not like Eminem didn't help out. Eminem makes beats too. A lot of people don't like Eminem's beats, but he still makes music. So
sorry if my dog's barking.
Nah, shit. I just heard it right now. Shoot, as soon as you said something, I didn't even hear it. I want to get back to the main question. Was hip hop really made for people?
I suspect yes and no. I think no, if I'm being honest.
Well, who do you think it was created for? Why do you think they created
it? Honestly, I think hip hop was they probably needed something more fresh compared to rock. If you look at it nowadays, you don't really see young people listening to rock as much. They'll mostly listen to hip hop stuff.
True. Of course, it's for human ears. It's for human beings to listen to. I don't believe it's as free as rock and roll was. Rock and roll was more, they called it the devil's music, but it's the same thing they call hip hop. But rock and roll was more free. You were free to express what you wanted to say. Nobody's ever said that rock and roll was controlled. That was the last thing that it was. It wasn't controlled. They were able to say
So,
what they want. Hip hop seems like it has like a owner, like somebody's in charge of it. There's only certain music that they want to let play.
yeah. Also, the interesting thing about hip hop is compared to rock and roll, I don't think I've ever heard like has there even been a rapper who's like committed suicide?
Has there ever been a rapper to commit suicide? Yeah,
Uh,
but not in the sense that like the
Cobain.
standard, like drug overdose.
I didn't count that. I,
Mm,
I meant like suicide, not with drugs.
has anybody took their own life? I'm trying to think. Mm,
I always found that a little suspect.
I thought they said that DJ killed himself.
What's his name? The one on Ellen?
Yeah, Twist.
I mean, oh, would he count as a rapper though? He's in
I
hip
mean,
hop.
he's a hip hop, but no, it's not really a rapper.
Yeah. But
No, you're right.
if I want to make a stretch, I could say Mac Miller, but not
Right.
really.
See, like you said, you don't want to count drug overdose, but that's
Uh,
how it works, though. See, like maybe the reason that you don't see that is because they learned from rock and roll. And rappers, since all they do is talk, it could be that they know they're going to say something, so they just pick them off.
okay. Because I've always found that a little odd. I don't know if you find that odd or not.
That there's no rappers that have committed
It,
suicide. I
it,
mean,
it's kind of a messed up question, but you
it
would think.
depends on what you mean. It depends on what you mean. People could think that Tupac basically committed suicide by beefing with the East Coast. Who else? You could say that the dude P and Rock, for going into the middle of a ghetto where you're not from with all your jewelry on and going to eat like it's like who thinks this stupid? Why did the rock and roll artists commit suicide? They couldn't deal with it. But the rappers, they don't commit suicide. They just do stupid stuff that warrants them getting killed.
That's why I found that weird. Like, you can't think of like one rapper who's been like so suicidal, he's killed himself.
Okay, well, I'll up the ante. Um, Name me a rock artist that was limited to their 20s to perform.
What do you mean limited to their 20s?
Like they say hip hop is a young man's game. Like if you're past a certain age, you're not allowed to do it, or they say you shouldn't be doing it.
I can't
Name me
think
a
of
rock and roll artist that they told was too old to perform.
none.
Right. So
That was
to
stupid.
me, no, I'm saying that to say this. I think hip hop, they want people to remain dumb. They don't want you to be smart. That's why they want you to be led by children. If they're telling
And
you
it
it's a young man's game, only kids can talk. Okay, how much life have kids lived? They don't really have a message. It was weird back in the 80s. It's like kids had more responsibility. Cracks out. Everybody's getting dope fiend out. Kids growing up early, but that was a lot of kids back in the day. In the 60s, you were out in the farm. You're doing stuff. You're growing up early. It's like if they want to keep people bound in a youthful spirit, but with no knowledge, so they can do what they want with you.
yeah, that's interesting. Um, do, Do you know the term Masters of Ceremony, MC?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I I had a I had a feeling I was correct, but when I Wikipedia it it said it's also a meaning in fraternal orders.
Okay, so let's say it like this. Master of the ceremony, because there's two ways. You got like I'm deep. There's two ways you gotta look at it. Melly Mel is responsible for creating the word MC, but he didn't spell it MC. He spelled it MEES. I think it's like that. And I'm pretty sure you've seen it spelled like that before. Okay. That's his original interpretation of MC. Master of the ceremony, when that comes around, that is introduced by Grand Poobah and Brand Nubians. I believe that's the original group before they became Brand Nubian, because Grand Poobah was in a group called Master of the Ceremony. So they're 5%ers, which is behind Islam. Hey, I just did a video about the NOI Muslims. I'm not talking about Sufi Muslims. No, I'm talking about NOI Muslims, the Nation of Islam. When you get them, the break offshoot of them from Clans 13X is the
The
5%ers.
Muslim.
It's Muslims, but it's the 5%ers. Okay, so it makes sense if you're saying it's a Masonic saying. Who brought it to us? It was some Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Some 5%ers. So I find that interesting that you're like, oh, well, it's been said that, Master of the Ceremony is a Masonic term. So that's interesting.
Fraternal.
Or fraternal term.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Which makes sense, though. I mean, think about it. The original MC is the mic controller. So where do we get this from? Entertainment. All right. Where are all these spellcasters woven around the entertainment industry? So it makes sense. You know, I don't get how they say, the country's, racist, and it's all white power, but they let some Jews run all their money. Like, I think that's weird. They own the banking system. They're the best lawyers, so they run the court system. They own Hollywood. They own the porn industry. They own the music industry. Every movie has a soundtrack. It's the same people. So, that's deep. That's deep what you're saying. I mean, we all knew that they're running the industry, but that's my whole thing. Was hip hop made for people? Yes, it was. But was it made to set you free? No, it was made to influence you. Everything's about consumerism. For some reason, these people are broke. They're in the ghetto. They're have-nots, but they only like to wear the stuff that these rich elites own. They only like to wear Gucci. They only like to wear Louis Vuitton. Okay, it's a Greek fraternity. You're wearing a bunch of European clothes. It kind of sounds perfect. Like, I'm just saying, in that sense, it sounds like consumerism. Say it again. It cut you. What'd you
say? Mini Kanye's.
Right. But before him, who was the influencer of Gucci and Louis Vuitton? The drug dealer. I don't know if you're old enough to know who Schoolie D is, but
I've heard of him.
Okay, all right. PSK, making that green. Okay, he was known for wearing the Gucci suits. He had a song called Gucci Time. Looking at my Gucci is like, so yeah.
Didn't they say Schoolie D invented gangster rap?
That's what they say. They credit Schoolie D, some credit Ice-T, some credit Coogee Rap. KRS-One is not really responsible for gangster rap. He just had a cover with a gun on it. The Criminal Minded. But he's not. Nobody would really consider KRS a gangster. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're
I
saying
mean,
because I've asked that question. Huh?
the image of him when he was younger.
Exactly. Like I said, I've questioned that myself, but I guess they're gonna say protection because that's how they said it about Rakim. He was protected by the Supreme Team, who was, a real gang, the gang that 50 was beefing with. You know what I'm saying? Um, with Supreme himself and all that stuff. Those
Yeah,
were
I
the
don't.
guys protecting him.
Is that when they said he snitched or something?
Who? 50 or Supreme?
50. They said that's why he was shot.
They say he snitched on two occasions. The Ghetto Quran, where he's
Yeah.
talking all this stuff that happened in the streets. Okay, they're saying he snitched in that way. And then when he got stabbed at the Hit Factory, they're saying he told on Ja Rule and Black Child.
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, every story needs a story. So, like I said, it's not like people don't really do stuff. The children are really being killed. You know,
mm.
the family members are really being sacrificed. So, 50 getting shot in his face. Could I say that's for he did that for fame? Yeah. Um, People would say the same thing about if they don't believe that Pac's alive, but they believe he sold out. They could say, "Oh, he took the bullets for that." It's the same thing. But to me, I know Pac was fake. I know that shit didn't happen.
No blood.
Because I never got to verify the wounds anyway. And then Pac's like he miraculously healed. So
Get rich
it's
till
just lots of
96.
bullshit. Right, exactly. See, you know what I'm saying? Calling out the year you're gonna die, and it's just fake. Like it's
Also,
just fake. Anybody around that shit.
I was gonna say if you can't, it's interesting that Tupac was more in a negative light compared to Biggie, even though Biggie had a song about promoting suicide.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't remember Pac even did Pac really make a song about committing suicide?
yeah, he did. I mean,
Nah,
not really saying he did. He says I smoke a blunt to take the pain out, and if I wasn't high, I'd probably try to blow my brains out. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the chorus. You know, so I mean, you can't say that, oh, he's promoting suicide, but no, Pac has referenced,
mm,
dying and wanting to die. And, you know what I'm saying?
the
It's like he's
that blaze of glory against the cops and stuff like that.
right. I mean, they're both different characters.
Yes.
Pac was supposed to be a hero type character. You know,
The
Biggie, I guess, was supposed to be like a have not
the the
come up
the Italian,
character. You know what I'm saying? He went from ashy to classy.
yeah,
They all did that. They all. I mean, some people say it started with Biggie, but I don't know because Biggie doesn't get flashy until his last album. You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
Nas had already been doing the casino bars. Wu Tang had already talked about Scarface. So I don't know. See, there's a big like that's why they say Biggie was biting. You know what I'm saying? Wu Tang brought it up. They're like, oh, he bit my man Nas shit, talking about the album cover. Okay. A lot of people feel that Biggie wasn't like a big time drug dealer rapper until after Wu
Yeah,
Tang and Nas. You know what I'm saying? And it's true because his first album, he's like, I don't want to go to heaven with the goody goodies. I'd rather be in hell. And, he's like you said, suicidal thoughts and all different types. Like he was rapping different. He was more like a murderer. He was more of a murderer on the first album.
I always
Second
found it
album,
interesting.
huh?
You go ahead.
What
I was about to say, I always found it interesting that they had Method Man on Biggie's first album, and they gave Tupac a song with Method Man on his album.
Oh, I brought that up. I've said that before. I've said there's only two groups. There's only two that did songs with Biggie and Pac, and that's Bone Thugs and Harmony and Method Man.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones who got to work with both.
Would you count
And MOB. I mean Mob.
Would you count Stretch?
DJ Stretch?
Not the one from Naughty by
Rapper
Nature,
Stretch?
their friend. The Tupac and Biggie friend Stretch.
Yeah, but they never did no music. Biggie and Stretch never did no music together.
The guy on House of Pain song with Biggie and Pac. Not the one from Naughty by Nature.
The one on House of Pain.
The song House of Pain, Tupac and Biggie have a song called House of Pain. There's a rapper called it was a mutual friend of ours called Stretch. You could technically count the him and I think couple of the Outlaws. When you mentioned that Death Row thing was.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about, but we don't know if that's an original though. That might not be a song that they actually did while they were alive. That might be something people mixed together. But say it is true. Say they did put that song out. It would only conclude, the funny relation that whole story has. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep saying it. I keep saying that all this shit was set up like it was supposed to go down this way. So
Tupac and Biggie actually were on 3 songs together.
I mean, well, we know Pac and Biggie did music with each other. I was talking about Stretch.
There's not really much on him, is there?
I mean, all we know about Stretch is a few things. For one, people are saying that he might have had something to do with Pac getting shot or robbed. They're saying he might have knew about it. You're saying that him and Big might have had a type of friendship. It's like, okay. Then Pac's song, Get At Me, they feel actually we know because he said something in it that, referred to Stretch, but it's like he's talking about him. Okay, didn't Stretch die in 95 or 96 early that year?
Yep, before 95. 95.
Stretch dies. He dies a little bit after Pac got robbed. So let's look this up real quick.
I'm pretty sure he died during the Thug Life thing.
Let me see. Because the story only makes sense if Pac's already robbed. In the lobby, 3 men pulled pistols to rob Tupac, who resisted and was shot 5 times. Okay, he died. He died in 95 in November. So
Okay. I thought, what day?
right. Let's see.
What day in November?
Oh, the 30th.
That's, yeah, 12 days. 12 days after I was born.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. When the hell? When was Pac shot? Oh, 94. Okay, so Pac shot in 94.
Well,
So it's after, yeah, which I should have knew that because yeah, after that he goes to jail for the rape case. So Pac is shot in 94. Stretch dies a year later. You know what I'm saying? It don't
yeah.
matter what month Pac got shot in. Stretch dies a year later. People say Pac got Stretch killed. Some people don't believe that. Whatever, whatever. Because I've heard people from Jersey say that, like, oh, nah, Stretch didn't set Pac up. It's like, okay, well, Pac still felt that way. And people still feel that Pac put the hit out on Stretch. That ain't gonna
You,
change.
you also got to remember, this was in the 90s, so it's kind of hard finding photos of these people.
Well, that's the
For
thing. That's how we know it really happened because the news station that reported the lady that said Pac went up in a helicopter, it doesn't exist. That don't exist. There was no helicopter that picked him up. You know, one person's story is going one way, Suge's story is going the other way. When Tupac showed the way that Suge went to the hospital, it made no sense. It's like he went all the way around when he could have just turned around and went the other way. It would have been right there. The picture at the light with no reflection, no key in the ignition.
Gaddafi's death afterwards.
Yeah, he got killed in Jersey.
They said it was Napoleon's cousin.
But here's the weird thing, though: the dude who gets killed is the only one who's like super, super next to Pac.
I was about to say that.
They have a bunch of
That was,
baby pictures together and shit. They're cousins, but it's like, so
okay.
the only person that would have some information, we can't
They
interview
actually,
him. We can't do nothing because he's killed right after Pac. Bam, he's gone.
Gaddafi and Tupac were blood brothers, but Castro and Tupac were cousins.
But who was cousins with him?
Castro
Oh, okay, yeah, Castro.
and and Edie was Tupac's brother-in-law.
Okay, but why is Pac from New York representing California, but got all his family in New Jersey?
Yeah. It's I found that weird as well, and the other interesting thing was how Biggie had Little Kim, but Tupac had the rapper Storm, who was a female.
Yeah, I remember Storm. Why you find that weird?
Kind of the duality of it.
Are you
The,
saying Big copy Pac?
no, I'm just saying the
Because
duality of
technically,
that had Storm on just like one of Tupac's albums.
yeah, she came towards the end. She came towards the Death
All I
Row days.
It wasn't on his last
Basically,
album. I found interesting.
yeah. Basically, only on All Eyes and some Machiavellis though, because there's a few songs that they did that never got put out. So okay, I mean, I get what you're saying. I think that was just the trend though. That was what was going on at the time. Because
Yeah.
you got Lil Kim, Foxy
Yeah.
with Jay, Storm with Pac,
Wasn't there
Sugar T with 40. You know what I'm saying? That's his sister, but it's like he always, that was like
Remy?
a thing. Yeah, that's catching the train. You know what I'm saying? That's after the fact because she was supposed to be with Big Pun, but he died. Because Big Pun's the one who actually put Remy Martin out. Like that was the first time anybody had ever heard of her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Was off Pun's last album. Yeah, baby. She had her
Oh,
own song. Like he gave her own song called Remy Martin.
I was about to say it's also interesting. A couple of the Bone Thugs and Harmony guys had a song with Big Pun as well.
Uh, that rapping fast um
Yeah.
connection. You know what I'm saying? They finally did a song with Twister too. Um,
Uh,
I feel you.
you, I've mentioned this to you before, but Prodigy, his was it great grandfather or great great grandfather was a founder of Morehouse College.
Yeah, I remember you did bring that up. You did
And
bring up something.
it's interesting how people act like Nas and Prodigy just like came out of nowhere, but you gotta remember Nas's dad was also a musician.
Yeah, he went to college too. He went to Tennessee. I
No,
had a video coming up about that.
Nas's dad was a musician.
I know. He went to college too. He's a boule. That's what I'm trying to say. He went to two different
Th-
colleges.
th- There's a line in the "You're the Man" song, what the original version, when Nas says "It drove me crazy the day I drank my own urine, my own semen."
Wait a minute. I think I know what bar you talking about too. What song you say?
"You're the Man," the original version.
Yeah, you sent that to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yo, that's that video, saying the slickest boule, because there's old pictures of Nas with like his cousins, and his cousins don't even look black. Like they look like they some like Dominicans or
Me,
something. And I'm like, but I've been knew that though, because of Cameron and AZ, both of them dudes is not black people. They're you call them that, but that's not really what they is. You know what I'm saying? They're
oh,
like Dominican or like Cuban.
yeah.
They're
Also,
just
look,
like Noriega, he mixed.
I was gonna say, if you look at Gaddafi and Tupac together, Gaddafi is really light. Like, if you
Yeah, I know.
actually look at,
And
you,
I mean, I've been said Tupac's Cuban. I don't think Tupac's black. I think he's Cuban.
like, Gaddafi is like one of the lightest black guys I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we don't know who his parents is. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever like that's another weird thing. It's like
They were like
nobody
Black
talked to
Panther.
the family.
His
No, I'm
parents were like,
saying like all we ever met. Like think about it. There's all these Shakurs. This is a big ass family, but the only people we met is the mom and the dad, the dude who's related to them through the revolution, and Mopreme. It's like other than that, that's weird. Like, where's all the cousins? Where's all the aunties? Where's all the grandparents? It's like, where are these people? And the reason that they don't show that shit is because they're not black. They're not American. They're not. You know what I'm saying? I don't even believe that family is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? The mom and the dad that they gave us, yeah, okay, you can say that, but there ain't no damn Shakurs. Her name is Alice.
it's
Afeni
Alice.
is Alice.
Her first husband was Shakur. Then she took his last name.
Shakur is not a real name. There is no Shakurs.
The
That's why
the
everybody's a Shakur. That's why
the
everybody's a Shakur. There's people
the,
that are claiming
the,
that name that are not Shakurs.
the first guy, her so-called husband, who they say was a Shakur. He looks like a Fed. You see him like
That's Geronimo Pratt.
no, you see him like getting arrested in like steps in like a courthouse.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. He just died.
Not even him.
Mamutu Shakur.
Not him. Not even him. He's not even a Shakur.
You talking about uh something
Some
Jamal.
some no Shakur.
More,
His
wait, you
no
just said he wasn't a Shakur. Which one are you talking about?
Matula is actually not a Shakur.
I know he's not. You just said one that is not a Shakur.
No, one that is a Shakur.
She
They
messed with Billy Garland. She messed with Geronimo Pratt.
hold on.
Because I'm telling you, Shakur is a made up last name. It's not real. Just like Chesedek, what the hell is her name? The one who ran to Cuba. That's not her real name. Her name is Chesedek. Just like Afeni's real name is Alice. They ain't no damn Shakur. It's a made up CIA name. It's a made up name.
That's what I'm telling you. It was this guy called Lambada Shakur. She married in 1968.
Okay. Now,
And if
have you ever seen him talked about with the revolution? Anything? Has anybody ever promoted this name? Have you ever seen a T-shirt with this guy? Remember, he's the original Shakur. He's the original OG, triple OG, the Shakurs. Have you ever seen anybody promote this fool? No.
no, but
You want to know
photos
why?
of him, the photos I can
That's
see
the
of him.
fucking agent.
Exactly.
What you want to? You. That's what I'm saying. It's like they gave you
Uh,
everybody else.
sorry.
They gave you
Yeah.
everybody. They gave you
Yeah. Except
what the hell is
original
his name? They gave you Geronimo Pratt. They gave you
Natalie.
Huey P. Newton. They gave you Bobby Seale. They gave you Fred Hampton. They gave you all these different people that are part of the revolution. Okay, you give me one dude whose name is so prolific that it's associated with the Black Panthers. They got people that's been locked up with this name. They got rappers with this name. They got people that are not even related to the people that are claiming this name. They got people that have killed police officers, ran away to a whole nother country. They're claiming this name. But nobody has any info on the original person that had this name. That is CIA. That is FBI. That is government, motherfucker. There's no way that people can deny that shit. I know it's true.
It's also more suspect. Why wouldn't Tupac's mother change her name back to her original name, her last name, when she divorced him?
Here's another interesting thing. If she's so hot in the pants to have multiple kids and to be moving around from man to man rather with the revolution, why didn't we ever see her with a new boyfriend? Through Pac's whole career, you just see her funky ass by herself. Why? Because she's dyke. That's why she dogged out her baby daddy, talking shit about her husband, and all the way until Pac's supposed death. Behind the scenes, him and his mama was arguing every day. This is out Billy's mouth. This is out his dad's mouth. Because he said when he finally linked up with him, I seen the pictures of Pac in jail and his dad coming to visit him. So the truth is, his mama was kind of trifling and keeping him back from that shit. But wait a minute, who got him into acting school? Tupac's an underage kid. He can't put himself anywhere. Who got him in acting school? Who was it? So who's really a part of it? His mom is a part of the original Black Panthers. Okay, so she's CIA from the jump. She's been an agent. So who is it really Pac, or was he manipulated into this shit? And it's like that's why at the end of his life, he's wanting to leave death row. He's trying to switch it up, but it's too late because you're already in a contract. You can't breach the contract. You can't. That's why when you die, there's no blood at the scene. You got all this music already made. Supposedly, you already know you're gonna die. Oh, he knew he was gonna die. So he made all his music. So you got all this shit lined up like if you were preparing for something. I'm going to be rich till 96. You said this in 92, 93. How do you do that?
It's like it's a prequel to the actual event.
Right. But what is that leading up to? Was hip hop really made for people?
Maybe not.
I mean,
It,
I believe it,
look,
go ahead.
look, it, you go.
I mean, but okay, you feed them bread and you let them watch the circus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to say is, I believe hip hop was made for people, but it's made to. Oh shit! I believe hip hop was made for people, but I believe it was made to control them.
Yeah.
That's why it went negative. That's why it went negative. They couldn't control people with rock and roll. People were becoming rebellious with rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? They
But
were marching
m-
in front of stuff. They were tearing stuff down. With
maybe that
rap,
was the
it well, no, that's what I'm saying. With rap, it did the same thing, but in reverse. Rock and roll was anti-establishment. Rap is establishment. How do we know this? Because all they promote is the establishment. I have Gucci on, I have Louis on, I have this brand new Lamborghini, I have these
exactly.
chains. So it's like you promote blood diamonds, you promote rich oil guzzlers, you promote foreign clothing. How are you not, this system?
Mm,
You are the system. Then you create drama filled music that gets people incarcerated, whether it's through pimping, selling drugs, murder, etc. etc. Okay, that feeds this underground prison pipeline that you guys are claiming that you're addressing, but you can't. If you wanted to address the prison pipeline, you'd address Sexy Red, you would address Boozy, you would address what your problem is. Your problem is influence, is what is going into the mind. You say it's ego, that's half of it. Ego can't exist without praise. Someone has to be liking what you're doing to fill your head up to make you egotistic. You don't just wake up out of bed like, I'm the shit, and there's no verification, but I'm the shit. No, that's not. No, it's people patting you on your back, brown nosing your ass, sucking you off, making you feel that you're more than what you are. Same reason why women of today are insane, because all
mm,
through grade school, they got maybe two hellos and maybe three, I like your outfit. Now they're getting 400, I like your outfit. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? It's not normal. You have a bunch of just people you're meeting, like a school maybe have 2,000 people. Now you got a
mm.
friend list 2.5 million, 2.38 million. We're live. There's 16,000 people watching me right now. Sucking my
It,
balls. It's like, see, now your head's all filled up. I think that's what
especially,
it became in reverse. It became making people so full of themselves that they didn't notice they were getting fucked in the ass every day by the establishment. You're not seeing it. And that's why they can take billions of your dollars and go donate it to something else, but you don't care because you rather sell drugs. So you don't pay taxes, but you're going to pay it anyway because they're just going to inflate you and then tax you more. So now, how is that steak dinner that used to be
I,
$25 for the steak, 15 for the whatever bread and potatoes, turned out to maybe $50. Now it's costing you $200. See, it's time to put your big boy pants on. That's all I'm saying to like the listeners out there. I'm gonna let you speak, but I'm just saying it's time for people to realize the game of strategy is not a kid game, but that's why they keep hip hop in kiddom. That's why they tell you it's a young man's sport because they know when you're young, you're dumb. Go ahead.
that's why you've never seen an anti-Biden song from one of these rappers.
They're out there, but they're not from what you would call, the industry rapper. No, you're right.
that that's what I meant.
It's a bunch of locals. You know what I'm saying? Kid Rock said something, but that's him. You know what I'm saying? But it's not
It,
going to go anywhere except in a
it
couple rural areas.
yeah. It's not like when Eminem done that Trump song.
But you see how that didn't make any sense. Like, it'd be one thing if politically rappers made sense, but they don't. They're always putting people back in the shithole,
Mm,
with who they're talking about. It's like Trump versus Biden. is a landslide. Only a damn fool would appreciate anything that Biden did. He didn't do anything but put you in more problems.
But he
Trump,
wrote the crime.
they normally never talk about business. They talk about him. They don't like him as a person. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
personality as my president is not why I pick a president. I don't pick a president because I want them to impress me with, jokes or how they wore their suit. No, I like a badass. That's what's supposed to be in the lead. Like, why the fuck would you want, a weirdo like as your leader? You want somebody that's going to tell you, look, you do this, the repercussion is this. This is going down. This is the way we're doing it. And you want them firm and a little cocky. Yeah, I like that. Besides the geezer, right now I have the crypt keeper in the fucking White House. Like, no. And look, they've already found cocaine. That your son's getting arrested for gun charges, all types of shit. They got emails. They got you got secret documents in your damn car in the garage. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
This is who the rappers are going for. This is who Charlemagne the God, is doing interviews with. He's literally telling him to his face, you're not black and you don't vote for me. Biden's not black. That doesn't even make any sense. It's like, you telling me I'm not a car if I don't believe you. You're not a car, motherfucker.
I was joking about the crime.
Say it again. You was what?
I was joking about the crime bill part when you were asking about what the good things Biden did. I said the crime bill as a joke.
Nah, man. I ain't tripping off that because I guess I didn't hear it, but it's like I already know the sarcasm in that. I already know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with locking up criminals. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with somebody saying something that I know is not true. You grew up in a black church, that's a lie. You grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood, that's a lie. You say a lot of dumb shit. My butt's been wiped. I understand. You're a weirdo. Like I know. You're a hair sniffing weirdo.
I was gonna say, I don't think I don't think blacks in America understand how global hip hop is.
I mean, yay and nay, because arrogantly they do. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you that hip hop is the most, influential genre. We're running the world right now. They'll tell you that. They'll say it. But I think what you should have worded it like this. I don't think blacks in America realize how more opportunity they have compared to what they say worldwide. Like the person who's listening to you off the Walkman that don't have stream, he's literally walking through a landfill looking for something to eat or some piece of old wood to try to make a little shed or something like that. He's going through a whole different life, the real struggle, and he's hearing you talk about abandoned buildings and all. Like, how do you think he look at it? Like, shit, I would have cleaned up that building. Shit, that abandoned building was in my room. Yeah, beautiful. So I get what you mean. You know what I mean? Shoot, it's crime. Promoting negativity is always going to influence the world. You don't see nobody bragging about all the good hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Some people still do. They still do breakdance battles and all that different stuff, graffiti. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the mainstream promotion of hip hop is not what it was, and hip hop used to be so creative. Like, oh my God, hip hop in the 80s and early 90s was so creative. You'd have songs like I thought I could beat Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? This is Will Smith. Yeah, it's funny, but it's like funny. Yeah, did you hear what I just said? Like Biz Markie, the MC. It used to be fun rap. Don't do that anymore.
I'll disagree with you there. There was the 2000s underground music, like the underground rappers. from
Like
like the 2000s.
like who?
The underground atmosphere. ASAP
Okay.
Rock, ASAP Rock.
Okay.
Um,
Talking about
if if
Jedi
if
mind trick.
if you've ever played like a Tony Hawk game, they're usually in like those games. They'll put like
No,
underground.
I know. The names you're saying are strange to me. I know exactly who you're talking about. Like I said, like Jedi mind tricks. Yeah. The I wouldn't even call them because some people call them backpack, but it's like I wouldn't even call that backpack. I'd call it what you said. Those are underground. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what are you saying about the underground? Were you saying it kept it afloat, or
They definitely kept the underground.
I mean they still have it? But actually, I take that back. I don't even think there is an underground anymore.
Well,
Like
any
ever since the internet and SoundCloud and YouTube and stuff like that, is like what is considered underground anymore? Nobody's really like you can't get famous off being like a Vinny Plaz or something. It's like, bro, you've been around for years. You are underground, but today to see you blow up, like even on SoundCloud, it's not gonna happen because
yeah,
you're so old considered to what they're calling underground.
yeah.
So to me, it's
To,
like it's just like real rap. It's like real hip hop. It's a dead genre. Like there's really no hip hop anymore.
ask me that question you asked me again. I'll answer it with the rock stars.
Which one?
When you asked me how many rock stars have they told that they shouldn't do rock after
Oh,
20s or
yeah,
before?
yeah. All right, all right. How many
Yeah,
rock stars have you heard of being told that they're too old to perform?
none. Now ask me the same question about rappers.
How many rappers have you heard of that have been told they're too old to rap?
A lot. Are you trying to tell me that you only target kids?
Well, I said that earlier. Like that's what I'm saying. If the
Yeah,
real world is dealing with harvest and growth and how to not control the minds of people but to guide them into a purposeful life,
yeah,
how can I keep the control of if I don't want that? You know what I'm saying? If I want their money, if I want their
yeah,
daughters to hurry up and turn 18 so I can throw them on OnlyFans, or to throw them on there before they turn 18. If I'm influencing sex in every element of a child's life, so much so that even wrestlers are more. There's more female wrestlers than back in the day. Back in the day, there was no female wrestlers like that. It was like two or three. You know what I mean? Because it's not really about sex. We're not supposed to be thinking about that. We're thinking about, big macho fighters and stuff. But now it's turned into a party show. You just see a bunch of girls wearing a bunch of Cosmo play, and they're out here acting like they're Billy Badass when in reality it doesn't matter how many push-ups you do, darling. The biggest guy is gonna knock your head off. So, why do we even put that in that? So much derogatory stuff in just this TikTok thing. They say that's for kids, and it's like, no, it's not. Ain't no damn cartoons on TikTok. Y'all not doing nothing positive on TikTok. Y'all doing a bunch of stupid stuff. How is it for kids? How does that even make any sense? You know what I mean?
all dumb challenges like
That too.
all those all those dumb challenges they had on TikTok. But I think I think that's my point. I think hip hop also played a big influence on that behavior, being like
I know it did.
dumb.
I know
What
it did.
that Wiz Khalifa song, "Young, Wild and Free."
Well, I mean, he didn't create that. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
comes from the 60s. That's coming from the
Yeah.
Love Child. You know, you got to
Yeah.
remember there was a time where, you know, the Woodstock days where it's like they were just having
That,
free
that was
sex,
called.
and you know that's where the interracial relationships came up, and that's where your orgies come from, and you know that's where the clap came from. That's where a lot of stuff came from. But no, I'm saying that to say this: who were the ones influencing that? Remember, they said rock and roll was of the devil. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about the one who's, you know, just jamming on the guitar, having people dance and have a good time? Or are we talking about the ones that were trying to influence people, telling them not to go to war? You know what I'm saying? Peace, not war. And here's the funny thing: people are bombing you or your friends. You're Americans, or you got all these different people here. You know what I'm saying? So you know you're dealing with Jews. You're dealing with people that are getting bombed right now.
Yeah.
So how
You
can
also.
you talk about peace and not war, but you're a part of the fucking war? Like, go ahead.
I was gonna say that they'll fund both sides, the war and anti-war sides.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
and it's also they'll fund hip hop, but push they'll push conscious rap if they can control it. Like
well, I mean, what's conscious rap? Because the older I get, the more I'm realizing that was a front too. What is considered conscious rap?
I
Like, because you
literally
could
have
think
no.
Public Enemy, you could think Public Enemy is conscious rap, or you could think
They
Tupac Shakur was conscious rap, or you could
say
think
Ken.
De La Soul was conscious crap. I mean,
They
rap.
they, they say Kendrick Lamar and J Cole's conscious rap.
Okay, you want to bring it to modern times. Now, what have they said that was influential to you? What did they say that changed your life?
Nothing.
Okay, now the thing is, how old are you? Ain't you still in your 20s?
28 in November.
Gangster. Okay, so it's perfect. You're perfect age. All right. So if I'm in my middle 30s, if I'm already there at that age and I'm not
Yeah.
feeling it, okay, and you're at your age and you're not feeling it, okay, now that is pretty much stating what I was telling my mom something earlier. I was like, you know, I never had a problem with like the OJs or the Beatles or Jimi Hendrix and all that. Like people before my time, people that I shouldn't know nothing about their music. I shouldn't know nothing about Duke Ellington. I shouldn't know nothing about jazz, none of that stuff. But I like it.
Someone.
And I'm like, so where is the gap between when you stopped liking my music, but I kept liking your music? What happened? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, that's true. I get what you're saying. I guess because you're older now, you know, you still like your music, but you're trying to say, why was I able to like your music also? But then it came to a halt with mine. But now I'm listening to my music and I don't like it. So what the hell happened? Obviously, this is
That
not real music. This is corporation stuff. Go ahead.
I I thought you were still going. I was gonna say I kind of agree. I don't know when they say it's a young man's sport, hip hop, or a young person's thing, it kind of tells you that the older you listen to it, the more boring it's gonna get.
To a certain degree, because I rhyme. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a different type of MC. I'm not gonna say that I don't do the stuff that everybody else is doing, but what I will say is I don't know why everybody else does it. Some of these people, like Plato said, you know what I'm saying? The whole key to life is to, you know, not need much, but to be valuable to everything. You know what I'm saying, to be able to understand everything, but not to need it all. You know what I mean? That's the point of it. So when I rhyme, it's more therapeutic. I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it to grandstand and boast and say that I'm better than people. I'm doing it because it's a release of energy. You know what I mean? And usually my topics and my talking points are something of influence to me. Maybe it might be to others. Sometimes it's just a rhyme. Sometimes I'm talking about women. Sometimes I'm talking about, power. And sometimes I'm talking about ignorance. It's like whatever. Of course, a rhymer is a rhymer, just like someone who does drawings. They're not always going to do kitty cats and puppy dogs. They might do a real graphic train ride or a train crash or a rocket going up. You never know. It's the artist. You know what I'm saying? It's an artist. And a true artist is going to reveal itself. You're always going to know what real art is. An artist is not just going to be confound and combined to one form. And that's how these new artists are today. I think they have completely sold out to the system, something they were supposed to be against. Hip hop was not for sale. That used to be what it was. Hip hop was like like an army or something. It was like a code of honor or something. It's like hip hop not for sale, son. We don't sell out to the industry. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about none of these dudes, none of these suits and ties. Yo, this hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's how it used to be. Now, these people would do anything. They were wearing Astro boots. The fucking Fabio dude, he's supposed to be a super gangster. I catch you, I stretch you, I spin you. I throw with the bubbles again. It's like he's supposed to be super gangster. You over here wearing Astro boots. You trying to be a fucking anime character.
Push your T with the socks.
Yeah. He pushing coke, but sitting next to Nas X, who is a known fruitcake, and y'all got the same socks on. Now, here's another thing. And I meant to bring it up on the Slickest Boule member talking about Nas. Why did Nas allow him to do that? Why did Nas allow him to take that name? Nobody ever brought that up. Like, why did you allow him to call himself Little Nas X? Why is he allowed to take your name? He called himself Little Nas. He could have called himself Nas X. He called himself Little Nas X, like Malcolm X or something. So he's got the revolutionary. He stole your name, and he's a fruitcake, and he's little. He's the little version of you. That was the weirdest shit of all time. I was like, I cannot believe, not like if Dr. Dre is willing to take Marjorie Taylor Greene to court for a cease and desist of playing the song Dre Day or the one that
Vivek Ramaswamy.
The one off the Chronic album. The one that Jay-Z wrote the lyrics for. Okay. He pitched a cease and desist on her to do that, but y'all letting that run.
Huh? She's supposed to be a racist, though. That doesn't make sense.
I know. I said that too. I'm gonna give her a video. I'm gonna end up making a video for her. I'm gonna show Shorty some love because I'm gonna be like, y'all don't make any sense. There's no rednecks bumping hip hop. They don't like black people. Remember, your chicken, watermelon eating, jigaboo. They don't like you, right? Okay, why is she bumping gangster rap? She didn't even just pick rap. She could have picked anything. She could have picked Bust a Move. Bust a Move from Young MC. She could have did that. She could have did she could have put on Young Did Take Me Away. Vote for me. Hey, yeah. She could have did anything she wanted. She could have did Kanye. She could have did anything she wanted. She went straight gangster rap. West Coast. Coast.
That's actually a good point. She could have played Kanye. Kanye probably wouldn't have cared.
Right. All these people she could have promoted, all these new artists. She went all the way to Death Row. She goes to the Thug Life. Think about what Dr. Dre's around. Dr. Dre's whole life is around Ruthless Records, Death Row, Aftermath, 50 Cent, G Unit. Look, everything is gangster around you. Everything is criminal. Okay, these rednecks don't like black people. They steal, they stank, they're criminals. Son of a bitch. Yeah. Okay, that's supposed to be the energy. That's supposed to be the energy. She over here bumping Dr. Dre. Still Dre Day, nigga. Payday, nigga. Phone life, showing the life. Club the block. Representing for the gangsters all across the world. Still, this is what she's bumping. I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world. Dip in the corners and the lolos, girl. Taking the time to perfect the beat. Still got love. It's the DRE. This is what she bumping. He's like, season the sense. Can't be bumping that real shit. You can't. He signs the white guy, mad at her for bumping the music because she white. You signed the fucking white guy. You signed the white guy. She promoting your music. You mad at her. It's the dumbest shit on earth. Don't make. That's how you know he's fake. The whole thing is fake. They hate the Republicans because the Republicans are the only ones who give a shit. They signed a contract to not give a shit. That's the point. And if rap is not for old people, why you got old ass Jay-Z still on the stage then? If rap is a young man's game, what the fuck is old ass 50 Cent still doing there? What is he? How is Wu-Tang still performing? Wu-Tang still doing concerts to this day. It's a bunch of senior citizens on that stage. All of them can get an early bird special at Denny's. Every last one of the Wu-Tang members can get an early bird special at Denny's right now. Every last one of them. All of them can get half price off the fucking hotel room and shit. It's like, nah, they still bumping. They still running.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes old as hell too.
And Snoop.
I mean, a few of them figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Like LL Cool J and Will Smith, they went to acting. You know what I'm saying? They switched off. They was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lead the game. You know, but I thought it was a young man's sport. I thought it's not. It's just about music, supposedly. But was it made for people? Like, I'll keep it 100. Like I said, I like hip hop. I think hip hop's cool because I remember the golden age. I was blessed enough to be born in a time where I'm gonna meet it all. You know what I'm saying? People are still gonna be bumping some of the original rap from the 80s. I'm gonna know who the Beastie Boys is. I'm gonna know like a lot of MCs. So listening to how rap has changed, it's clear that it's being programmed. It's being programmed. There's no way in hell that a lot of this stuff would have ever slid at a time of like 20 years ago. 20 years ago? Hell no.
Oh no.
Hell
no.
And that's only in 2004. I mean 2003. 50 Cent was just coming out. That's the year 50 Cent drops Get Rich or Die Trying. It's 2003. So think about 20 years ago, what was the game? Hardcore killers and hustlers. Gang of real representations of what we call thugs. Now, a thug is young. A thug now is young thug. You can be a killer with colored braids in your hair. Real shit. You can be a killer with colored braids in your hair, an overweight belly, tight ass pants. You know what I'm saying? Like pants so tight you can't even fit the gun in the motherfucker. It's just hanging out. Like can't even walk in this bitch. Okay.
I'll say this though. Wasn't the rapper the game male stripper?
But that had to come out though. Like that had to come out though. Like it's not like when he first came up, he was acting like that. No, he was all tattooed. You know, he's claiming to be a blood. You know, that was the introduction. It's only when him and 50 go into beef that old pictures get shown. You know what I'm saying? Old game show contests, contestants get shown. You know what I mean? it didn't start like that. So people didn't take a liking to Game because they knew he was a stripper and then they let it slide. It's just like Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Wayne as a kid was dope as fuck. Nobody had no problem with Lil Wayne. It's when he started sipping lean, started looking like a crackhead, that people started saying, yo, Wayne's goofy. Like, I ain't fucking with Wayne. Everybody never knocked his rhymes. Everybody always said he could rhyme. I never thought like Lil Wayne was that great. Lil Wayne to me is like a Joel Santana. You all right. You all right. But you ain't something like I just spent my whole life listening to. No. You all right.
To be
You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather listen to him than Drake. If I'm being honest, I'd rather listen to Wayne than Drake. Even Nicki, I'd rather listen to.
I mean, that's true. But it's just because Drake is oversaturated. That's all. That's all. He's R&B. You know what I mean? Drake's not even rap. Drake's R&B. But that's what ruined R&B. That will ruin R&B. It was people like him who was singing and rapping. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't start with him. He didn't start that, but he kind of ruined the R&B.
Usually that get an R&B singer and have a rapper as a featured guest.
Exactly. But when you got one fool on the mic doing both, it kind of slimmed the pockets for the industry. You know what I'm saying? They was saving money, and then at the same time, it ruined the feature game because now people are featuring Drake on the chorus instead of an R&B singer.
Yeah.
So, it kind of slimmed up the numbers in that department.
It's funny you made that Nas video. I watched the. I didn't watch it when I saw it. I watched it later at night or in the afternoon. But in the morning, like during the day, I heard a song with Nas and Lil Wayne.
A new one, right?
Yeah. If Nas is how do I put it? If Nas was so conscious, why would you have like drug dealer rappers and Lil Wayne and all these people? You'd think you'd have more underground rappers.
Right. Like the point I brought up, why he ain't got no, new conscious rappers coming up. Why has he not brought anybody new to the table? He hasn't brought us anybody.
that would include I'd say Eminem as well was like that. I know Method Man did kind of collaborate with underground rappers.
Yeah, because he did like 3 different mixtape albums called Meth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you would think Eminem would have done more like songs with underground rappers.
to me, you would have thought Eminem would have brought out more white rappers, or at least embraced more white rappers. You would have thought, because he really, like, Eminem, it's funny because it's like, black people will be like, going, you sell out for the industry, but it's like nobody ever called out Eminem for selling out. Eminem sold out like a motherfucker, and the people be like, "How you mean that, dog? He ain't put no white people on." That's fucked up. Like that's foul. It's like, okay, like black people, they open the door, they start, but we let other people get in. All right, cool. But you as a white rapper, it's like even MC Search, you know what I'm saying, with Third Base is more than just him. It was the other dude, I forgot his name, Prince whatever, but it's like it was another white dude, like, yo, you bringing people on. House of Pain. Yo, Everlast wasn't by himself. He had 2 other members. He brought the white dudes on. You know what I'm saying? Young black, whatever they called themselves, but they all white. You know what I'm saying? It was all white kids. It's like, but it was more than one. It's like Beastie Boys. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
guy.
yo, it was more than one. They kept bringing, they brought they brothers with them. You know what I'm saying? Eminem get put on by himself. He don't bring no white people with him. They just signed recently. They just did recently. Him and Dre just co-signed some new white rapper. But it's like, bro, look how long that shit took.
I'd say it's worse than that. Eminem pushed Degenerates like D12.
I thought you liked that.
What? I did when I was younger, but if you looking back at it, it was probably not appropriate to listen to.
I'm saying that in kind of a satirical way, because I'm like, yo, that's the group that he put us all on. You know what I'm saying? That was his group. That was his guys.
He gave hip hop like rappers like Bizarre who talk about like pederast stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that was his group.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because it's like he didn't put them on any future albums. Like, this is your group. You introduce us to these guys. And then you just don't even do any songs with them like that. It's like, that's kind of interesting. It's like, nigga, well, why you bring it here, motherfucker? We didn't ask you to bring these motherfuckers here. Like, you kept them in Detroit.
What was I going? I was gonna ask you if you could name like a rap album someone should listen to. What would you recommend? What one of them being like a favorite of yours?
Not a song. You talking about a full album?
Yeah.
Shoot. I mean, all the well, nah, I don't want to tell y'all something you already know. For me personally, albums I would recommend to people first being introduced to hip hop. Shit. De La Soul is Dead by De La Soul. I would offer that album, the whole album, front to back. You can listen to the whole album.
Is that the one where it has a weed?
I would say, what?
Is that the one where it has like a weed stick figure thing on the cover?
Nah, it's a knocked over plant.
I think that's
the
one I'm describing. It's like orangey color and green.
No, it's just a white background, and it's the standard OG plant. It's the standard little, the orange, holder that the plant be in. It's just knocked over. Album came out in like 92. That's not even the album I grew up on. That's something that, I was reintroduced to as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? This is something my brother used to bump around the house. Like, but I'm young. I don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I would recommend that. I would recommend Gangstar Moment of Truth. The album is cool. The album is cool, but mainly just for that song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would recommend that. I would recommend Paid in Full, Rakim and Eric B, because people need to realize where that pattern of flow came from, where the smooth, cool delivery with, more modified words than hey and yo came from. You know what I'm saying? I would give people that.
Not to cut you off, but you describing those albums shows me that if you compare rock fans with young hip hop fans, there's usually a disconnect with like old school versus people who listen to rock. People who listen to rock, they'll embrace the classics and they'll know a lot about like the older stuff. But it's kind of the opposite with young hip hop fans.
True. And I mean, respect goes, it plays a big part in the reason why, because
It,
people
the,
don't people don't credit the reason that they can do it, the reason that it's being done, the reason that it is.
I with the who was the guy who was it Melly Mel who dissed Eminem?
Yeah.
The first time I heard it, I liked it, but then I watched some I watched someone reviewing it. I caught myself starting not to like it. Then I realized I was getting programmed. I was getting
I
programmed
mean,
not to like the song.
Shadow, hippity hop,
Well,
don't stop. Yo, Shadow, what happening, bro? How you been? How your life gonna go? You sitting in the house watching the computer? It's like, bro, it is a kind of, you know, aged flow. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
What's happening, girl?
still,
Looking good. Let me smack your ass in the hood. Hop
yeah,
in my car. Take a ride. It's like it's outdated. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
but
it depends on what I give you. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's why when you're asking albums, it's like shit. We're gonna be here all day because I can go through the classics with y'all. I can go through Wu's first album. I can go through Nas first. Like I could go that way with you if I wanted to. But as far as songs, there I would be able to place people because what you're saying, you're talking about, how things sound old and people are trying to program you. No, it's not that. It's easier to program you because they can use the old excuse, but no, it's not that. It's what is the point of hip hop? When you don't know the point of hip hop, then you're just gonna listen to anything. When you realize
mhm,
the point of hip hop was storytelling, it's supposed to
yeah,
be a story. And then when you
yeah.
get out of the disco track, because that's where people fall at. They just listen to the disco track. That's what the club's full of. The disco track. Y'all just listening to the main song, the theme song that everybody's gonna
But,
be juicing because the beat's hot. You know what I'm saying? The words are adjusted to, the times to catch your ear. It's like that's what Prince was talking about when he's talking about bubblegum music. It's disposable music. It's not something
but,
you're gonna remember next year. It's not. All that Little
but,
John shit, ain't nobody bumping that shit no more. And that used to be the biggest thing out. Like when Lil John came out, everybody had to have this sound in their beat. Everybody had to have this whistle going on. It was like, yin yang, it's like everybody was doing the same thing.
I still hear. I'm not even joking. I still hear that
Everybody was
song. The
doing it.
one with. I'll still hear that Usher song in the freaking shopping center. Like they'll have it in like the
Exactly. See,
the grocery.
right? You'll still hear
Huh?
bartender every now and then. You'll still hear, you won't hear sprung. You won't hear I'm sprung. I just want to thank you. That's outdated, but you'll still hear bartender. People will still bump that one. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
People will still, there's a few songs that, but these ain't even really hip hop. These kind of like R&B tracks.
I'll ask you a different question. Name a modern classic album.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by modern. If we're in the 2000s at least, you know what I'm saying? If you're talking about the 2000s,
In in the last 10 years.
I'm probably gonna give it to my man Sean Price. In the
Uh,
last 10, oh, now you want to be fucking directed. Huh? You want to talk about the last 10 years? About the last 10 years? 2014. Um, I mean, what was around in 2014? What was going on back
yep,
then?
yep,
Shit, I could always throw an AZ album out there. I could
yep,
always do that. By
yep,
2014, AZ probably dropped another album
you
by then. So it's like, I
you're
say one of his albums.
I asked you that question on purpose because I knew it'd take you a while to think of one.
I mean, shit. I'm still guessing. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I'll say this. You got your underground dudes. You know what I'm saying? You got your Immortal Technique popping around that time. MF Doom was still doing his thing. God bless his day. You know, you still had a couple things going around.
I was
But
I,
you right. You right. By like 2010, rap was already going downhill. So by like 2014, shit, you talking about me out here rapping for myself now. Now, like, that's how bad the game has gotten. You know what I mean? When I first hit the YouTube, it was like 2012, 11, something like that. But I didn't start really trying to go hard until like 13, 14. Then it was a hiatus for like a few years. I just came back tough in 18 and it's been going there since until they knocked my page. Oh, and yo, just let everybody know, yo, I found like a few of some good videos from that old page. So, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I might be downloading some oldie but goodies soon.
I,
But man,
I have one of yours on my channel.
yo, I appreciate that, Shadow. And yo, I need to put your link in here once this video's done. I put the link in there. So y'all can go check out Shadow too. Y'all think I'm interested? Oh boy.
You saw the
He's got
last
some
one.
shit. I mean, once, you know, me talking about it is one thing, but to have the tape, the actual situation, that's a whole nother. You know what I mean? I need to really work on editing something. You know what I'm saying? I need me and you, and I got a few other friends. We need to work on something. We need to work on something serious. But the real question is, was hip hop made for people?
People, I'd say no, it was made for the executives.
I mean, it seemed like it. They're the
It,
ones
uh,
controlling the moves. They're the ones making all the money.
this might sound controversial, but even back then, I think it was to control people. All that early hip hop party stuff. Nothing
Okay, I
really
get that.
did, did like it was like hip hop disco. Did anything really come out of it? Did it really empower anyone?
Phone cut out, but you're talking about empower.
Did, like all those like old hip hop disco tracks, did it really do anything for anyone?
What you mean by that?
Like, did it really teach anyone anything?
Uh,
Besides just party and have a good time.
I mean, in certain cases,
It
there was a lot
could
more. There was a
be
lot more
peaceful.
unity at that time. You know what I'm saying? I guess in a
I,
sense because it was
I'll,
brand new, everybody was trying to do it.
I'll agree with you there.
There was a
I
lot
meant
more.
a higher level than that.
I mean, and it kind of was though because nobody was. It's like back then. I'll say this much about people. It was about showing,
A good time,
a sense of caring, a
unity.
sense of giving a damn. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of action hero movies back then, a lot of martial arts back then about, saving the village or revenging somebody's death. It was a lot about honor back then. So a lot of songs, would talk about, pollution and the government taking taxes, and like nobody ever sung about stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So when when Melly Mel was saying certain things back in like 83, you know what I mean? To Ice Cube talking about, don't date a girl from the projects and, explaining the story about what's going on, the police raids, and it's like people had never heard nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was singing about police raids, so it was an illusion that was
Yeah.
supposedly really going on because you're seeing it in the news. You know, you're seeing everything that was happening. Crack was out. It was a different time, so voices stretched more back then. You know what I mean? And didn't have to say much. And it wasn't about cussing as much. It wasn't about being so vulgar necessarily, you know. But yeah, you know, it was mainly party rap and ego rap. 80s is full of ego rap. I'm the heart killer, the life taker, the mic smasher. It's like they're always telling you what they are. It's like a fucking list of movies and shit. The electrifier, the debonair, the best you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, everything's about them. So I get your point. And was it mainly just party rap? But you know, they had songs where it was new. Like I said, it was new. Nobody was ever talking about the topics that they were talking about.
Yeah.
And that's why rap was underground at first. But then the industry got control of it and they made it move to a certain narrative. And now that's the narrative that's playing out. You know what I'm saying? This is the bad music for the bad people. You know, if you want to sleep around and kill people and deal drugs, then yeah, this is what you want to listen to. You want to listen to rappers.
I'll phrase it this way. It's not the hero's journey, it's the villain's journey.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Fake ass iced tea. You drinking the devil's juice. Yeah. Come around. Real gangsters.
It's I don't know, it's kind of interesting how Ice-T was portrayed. He was portrayed as a gangster in his music, but he ends up playing a cop.
I know. And you
That
know, he
was like
played it off like he wasn't an ex-military member before he was a gangster rapper.
an ex what?
See, he's
He
an
was in the
ex-military. Yep, he been an 8.
Was Night Dogg in the military?
I think one of them was. I think one of them Death Row members was in the military.
I think it was Night Dogg. And I read the rapper Mystical was a military as well.
Yep. A lot of people.
I can't think, but I find that interesting. Why would like gangsters be even in the military? Like it's it's the military is like the police's big brother in a sort of way.
Right, seems backwards, don't it?
What?
Doesn't make any seems backwards, don't it? Don't make no sense.
Yeah. It's like a FBI agent retiring and becoming a cop. I mean, becoming a rapper doesn't make sense.
Right, unless it's supposed to make that sense, where you know they're supposed to be infiltrating. They're supposed to be. It's just like what Bleak said. Like, listen to this.
That killed me with the Hov and them. They drunk the Illuminati. Yeah. Why the fuck I ain't drink dinner? I just went to the party, let everybody get Illuminati wasted, and I said, yo, I'm stay. No, I'm cool. Tonight's the night. I'm on my Nori shit. 36 hours clean. My birthday coming, y'all. Sacrifice I'd have been in there vampire from Brooklyn, nigga.
Now, why would he make a mockery of talking about the Illuminati and Jay-Z when everybody knows that Jay was chilling with that painter, Brockovich, or whatever her name was?
And he throws up the Rockefeller thing.
Maria Ambrovic.
Lady Gaga's friend.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, I forgot what promo it was. It was for a new album that coming out or a concert. But he had the sun, moon, and the checkerboard, the chessboard. I was like, what the fuck are people talking about? How can you say that this dude is not a part of the situation? I already explained his first album cover, but it's like, how could you say he's not a part of it if he's showing clear distinction that he's Mason? Like he's showing you what it is. And
Also,
people can hate it or love it. It is what it is.
also Tupac saying that he doesn't believe in the Illuminati doesn't actually make sense. He he dated Madonna, and in the movie, Madonna wore a jacket with a pyramid on it on the back.
No, she been had that though. That was in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Madonna was rocking the pyramid uh eye jacket. That was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's like,
He-
remember, she makes slut music talking about like a virgin.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That was satanic from the jump. You know what I mean? Nobody even got it. Like nobody even got it. She's a sleazy artist. She's sleazy as hell. Okay. She makes
Yeah.
songs like a virgin. What is she talking about? Who's virgins? Underage kids. Okay. Beastie Boys, we like the girls that are underage. It's like there are so many different bars that people have said in
Al-
hip hop
Also,
and
also
pop music.
you know the line about when Biggie says like his friend throws kids over the bridge.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've mentioned that. I've told people about that.
Vlad interviewed the guy, and the guy said Biggie made all that stuff up. He was like slandering him, almost got him killed.
I mean, the guy who he was referencing in the song.
Yeah, the guy about the bridge.
Well, yeah, if he said somebody's name, I forgot if he dropped that
Gotta,
name.
gotta. He did.
What was it, Chico?
Gotta.
Oh, say okay. See, all right, yeah, that was one of his dudes. I mean, but you also got to remember, look, Biggie's discovered by Cutmaster C, who likes transsexuals.
That's a good point.
See, so Biggie talking about you look so good, I suck on your daddy.
Yeah.
But fucking the little boys throwing them off the bridge. It's like it makes perfect sense. You know?
And Biggie was signed to Puffy. Puffy was a little fruity.
You talking about Uptown Records?
No, I'm saying how Biggie was also signed to Puff Daddy, and Puff Daddy was fruity.
Oh yeah. His whole little squad had a lot of weird situations in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even Max with the powder blue cover. You know what I'm saying? Like with the hat all on his eyes and shit, with his fucking lips all puckered up with chapstick on it. Yeah, it was a lot of weird shit going on at the time. Because nobody ever thought about that. Like, why has Mace got this powder blue background and shit? And he on the front looking like a greasy ass R&B singer. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
Well,
probably somewhere
just,
like, yeah, that's my favorite. It's my favorite album cover.
just to be, I want to bring. I was gonna bring up the point that I forgot which documentary. It might have been Resurrection. I'm not sure, the Tupac one. But remember his manager, the lady, the Jewish lady.
Yeah.
She was saying how like he used to stay at my house with my husband and stuff like that. And she's going through all the books he used to read, and one of them was the Kabbalah.
Yeah, I remember that part.
So Tupac doesn't believe in the Illuminati, but he knows what Kabbalah is. How does that make sense?
Well, yeah. You know what I mean? But that's, you getting that because you've been around long enough to fucking like read through the signs where like you just listen to people over and over and you're like, yo, they just keep getting caught up in their lives. Shit don't even make no damn sense. It don't make no damn sense at all. Like, what'd you say?
we know the 90s rappers were like, a lot of them were controlled, but how much do you think the 80s rappers were controlled?
I mean, I think the whole thing has been controlled. We're just finding it out now. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? The fact is, we didn't know that, you know, everybody was going to be lights, camera, action, and just, you know, everybody want to be a star. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no. We had no idea about that at all.
I guess something strange I find, like how Suge Knight's supposed to be a gangster, but he's on like the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Yeah.
No
So
one
was
finds
Easy
that.
E. He was supposed to be, but he was
Why would rappers want to even be involved with Hollywood as well? That's kind of a red flag.
yeah, real gangsters. That was the argument they had with Ace and Casino. That's what they said. You're around too many cameras. You know, you turning this into some actor thing. You're turning this into some TV show. You know, you're out
What
there
was this from?
talking to politicians on the you know, huh?
What was this from?
What do you say? Oh,
What
Casino
was
about the Tangiers. That's a movie. About the
was
Tangiers. About
was that De Niro?
yeah, about them building Vegas.
So
About when they
remember,
first created Vegas. Because the mob built Vegas.
it's it's interesting that Eazy-E went to the White House. He's the last person you'd think if he was a if Easy was a gangster, wouldn't they arrest him at the White House?
Well, yeah, straight Compton, straight gangster. I know you're having lunch with the president. You're a criminal. Made a song called F the Police.
That makes zero sense. How do I know he might not do something to the president? Like narrative wise, doesn't make
Right.
sense. Why would a guy who portrays himself a gangbanger be allowed anywhere near the president? Remember, they have to do background checks on people.
Yeah. Not even just that, you know. That you always keep a gun with you because, you know, you're in the street. You ain't got your gun on you.
That's a good point.
You ain't shoot him up, bang, bang with the president.
See, it's a little, I don't know.
Straight
A lot of
Compton.
these,
Fuck the police.
but did they really? But why? Like there was, like NWA was so surface level that did they really say anything like mind blowing?
I mean, they weren't supposed to. Right, left, leave toothless. Not
Yeah.
ruthless. Respect yourself. You doing? See, we care. Respect yourself. Respect yourself.
You've made this point before. Dr. Dre doesn't smoke weed, but he even says on the song "Express Yourself," he doesn't smoke
Right.
weed, but he calls his album "The Chronic."
Right. Don't smoke weed. Weed causes brain damage. Brain damage on the mic doesn't manage. Yes, everybody remembers the Dre story. He was talking about express yourself. And then the very
like,
next time he comes out, it's Chronic.
It's yeah. What happened with Eminem and the Indian guy?
don't know.
The
What?
Vivek Ramaswamy and Eminem, you mentioned them to that. Did he tell him to stop?
Okay, that Indian.
Yeah.
With the Hindu dude.
Yeah. What?
I mean, that's the same thing like Marjorie Taylor Greene is the same, just cease and desist.
Why?
Yeah,
It's,
you clearly see that anything the Republicans is like, down to fuck with as far as rap music, which they're supposed to be totally against, because there's only the Democrats and the black folks in the streets, only they love the rappers. But for some reason, ain't nothing but Republicans I'm hearing trying to bump rap music. So it's just weird as hell. But you know what? Shit, that'd be on the next one. Yo, man, I've been like 2 hours strong in this joint. I think we're about to call it a night. But you know what? What? You got something else you want to say before we get about it?
I was gonna say you asked you asked you for an album. Why don't you ask me for one?
Oh, shit, I didn't even get to finish that right. Yeah, you're right. We've been here all day. Yeah. That is a good question. Yo, what name me your top 3 albums. Not even the best of the best. I'm talking about your joints though. Like you still play to this day.
MF Doom and Madlib Mad Villainy.
Okay.
Shit. The first Blue album.
All right, that's a given.
And there's one. This one's more modern. It's produced by The Alchemist. It's Currency and Freddie Gibbs 30.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you like that, but it's like
I mean, if you get out of the social media and you just deal with the artist, yeah, that shit's dope. You know what I'm saying? You get into the Freddie Gibbs drama, that's a whole other story. But it's like, no. Musically, yeah. Yeah, that was fire.
You listen to it?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, when it comes to, spinning the block and giving artists a chance and just listening to their music, I'm always down, you know what I'm saying, to hear new shit. As long as it's dope.
I gotta say on the album, though, Currency kind of did like out-rap him.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Listen, the more I listen to it, Freddie's verses are kind of boring compared to Currency's.
I mean, sometimes you hit the spotlight. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes you won't. You understand? Mm-hmm. And then you can only do so much. You can only do what you can do. I mean, otherwise you're just gonna have to leave it alone.
When you stop the thing, like stop the thing on YouTube, and I'll talk to you like for 5 minutes after the show ends on YouTube, if that's all right.
All right, no, that's cool. Fucking shit, I'm just wondering how I think I know how. All right, yo, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Whoever showed up, appreciate you coming through. King Lime, you know what I'm saying? Doom Squad, much love and all that. And everybody who's gonna watch this stuff later on, we kind of got sidetracked all around. But
sorry,
the question really was, you know what I'm saying? was hip hop really made for people? And I think we answered that too. So, you know what I'm saying? Peace and love to everybody. And we'll get at y'all on the next one.
Thank you.
Oh, no. I appreciate you coming through, Mass. And yo, we have to do that president video another time. That's real shit, though. But we'll talk about that in a second. All right, y'all. Peace.